I'd like to welcome everyone to the Willis ISD's District Dynamics Radio Show for April 9th, 2014. I'm your host, Superintendent Tim Harkrider, and thank you for joining us. Once again, as we always like to start off, education is exciting and great things are happening in Willis ISD. We have a very simple slogan this year: one team, one purpose, and that purpose is student achievement. We've got some excellent things taking place, big time of the year for our kids as we enter assessment season. We've got a lot of great things going. Kids are excited, teachers are working very hard, and we're going to start off today by talking about our Team MVP Award for March went to Miss Tiffany Bird from Brabham Middle School, who inspires her students to find joy in math. She leads our math department at Brabham, and she's also the assistant director for the dance team. She pioneered the school's first ever Nachos and Numbers event that was attended by over 400 students and family members. She's a very positive motivator whose cup is always half full. She leads by example and goes above and beyond to help her students. And Tiffany is just an outstanding representative for our District MVP Award for March. She is what we want our teachers to strive to be, our kids to look up to, and I think she provides an excellent role model for our district, as well as represents Brabham extremely well. Also at our board meeting, we had a special recognition. Mr. Randall Ray and Jude Alod of National Oil Well Varco, which is NOV, located across from our high school, came to the March Board of Trustees meeting to announce their intent to donate a golf cart to be raffled off by the Willis ISD Education Foundation. Ray is the general manager of the plant across from the street from the high school. Back in December, we had to have a late arrival for our secondary students because there was a bomb scare at the facility at NOV. This caused a delay. The donation is to thank the district for their help and cooperation. And Randall gave a great speech at the board meeting, talked about Willis and being a part of a community and everybody volunteering to help each other. To me, it was really a no-brainer just to help out and do whatever we could to help that situation run as smooth as possible. And when they called to talk about they'd like to do something, my first impression was sure, show up at a board meeting and tell us thank you. We'd love for you to be there. And when we started, they said, no, we'd like to do something else. And, we're just really blessed to have this opportunity. We'll talk a little bit later in the show about our Willis ISD Education Foundation, but this was a very generous donation by NOV, and we definitely appreciate our relationship and partnership with them. We had some exciting news last Monday. We had a community meeting report. It was the first time, I believe, that we've had a meeting like this in Willis in many, many years. And it was kind of in terms of showcasing the growing, as we're growing in student enrollment programs and services and some great things that are happening in our district. And when you have something new like this and you plan it, you really don't know how many folks are going to show up. I felt safe. We were laughing in our leadership meetings that maybe we'd have 10 people come, but I knew we were safe because I was making all my administrators come. But we had over 200 people show up that night, and it was just, I was excited from the get-go as the seats started to fill up, and we're standing room only, and for those folks to be excited. About a third of the participation was our staff members, and obviously we want them involved in our whole process, but many parents, many community members, some with kids, some without kids showed up. We had a great meeting, got a lot of positive feedback, and I'm a firm believer that a successful school district has a ton of participation with the community members, have a strong bond, have a strong partnership, and everyone works together for the education and the benefit of our kids. And it was great to see the community of Willis come out and support what we're doing. We plan to have future community meetings to kind of showcase what we're doing and keep everyone informed of the happenings in our school district. So we were very pleased with our community report and looking forward for the second one that is tentatively set for August of 2014. Also at the community meeting report, we introduced our new Willis ISD anonymous tip line. And how does this work? The Willis ISD tip line can receive voicemails and text messages. You can call and simply dial the number. There'll be a short greeting. You can leave a voicemail. You can also send a text message to the number. We have 4 numbers throughout the district. There's a Lynn Lucas tip line. There's a Brabham tip line, there's a Willis High School tip line, and there's also a transportation tip line that all of our buses have a sticker in the front of the bus with the information on there. And all of this service is operational 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And basically what it's meant to do is to give students and parents an anonymous way to safely let us know if something's taking place in our district that's unwanted, whether that's from drugs, alcohol, weapons on campus, bullying taking place, whatever that is. We encourage them, obviously, to come tell our administrators and let us know, a counselor, what's going on so we can intervene. But this is a way that's non-threatening for retaliation, as a lot of times is what we hear. And we're excited to roll that out. Started it Monday on April the 7th and had one campus already, had a ton of interaction and dialogue. And what happens is when this voicemail or text message is sent, each campus has administrators that are logged or signed in to work the program. They receive a text message and a email that's stating what the message is. And then we have two-way dialogue. Instead of the user or whoever calls in, instead of their phone number showing up, they're given a sender ID number. We have no idea who the person is. Don't really care who they are as long as we're getting that information. And as you use the tip line, it's also on our website with the numbers. The more information we can get, the better, because like I said, we don't know who it's coming in from. There'll be responses back and forth of, what room did this take place in, and all the information we could get. So the more information you can give us up front, the better. And right now, we're using these tip lines at our secondary campus. We felt like that was our greatest need. And right now, we're going to evaluate how that works. And our elementary kids, we felt like would have our biggest impact on our school buses. And we'll be giving you an update here in the next month or so of how that program's running. But we're excited about another opportunity to help us maintain and have the highest level of student safety possible. As far as Willis ISD's growth, this year it's ranged from 3% to 3.7%, and that is right at or a little bit above our 25-year average. Our 25-year average has been 3.67%. In the last 3 years before this year, it's actually been at 1% or less. So it's exciting to see growth. We're up about 200 kids from last year, and looking forward to continuing to grow as a school district with our student enrollment. That growth is important because right now we have 8 campuses, and 4 of those 8 campuses are at 90% capacity or higher. So as we start having some discussions on some long-term planning, we've got to keep in mind where we are with enrollment right now and what our long-term plans are going to be. And just to give you a quick example, Willis High School will grow next year by about 150 students with just our incoming 8th graders coming in. We've got our senior class will graduate roughly around 360 kids. Our incoming 8th graders from Brabham and from Lynn Lucas together is over 500 kids. So with zero growth next year, we're growing by 150 kids at Willis High School. And that's something to be excited about, but something you also have to be prepped for. Another mantra from our meeting is something that I've said from day one that I've been at Willis is being average is not good enough for me. My goal is to make Willis ISD a flagship district in the state of Texas. And I feel like we have the students, the teachers, parents, the community, and the school board to make this happen. And that's something we're proud of. It's something we want to work to. It's a lofty goal, but I feel like if you're not pushing ourselves, you're only going to get so far. So our long-range planning has begun. A long-term planning committee is being formed in the next few weeks, and we've got some great things to bring to the table. Sweethearts dance team are definitely not average. They won their 6th national championship at the show team contest in Galveston recently. I'd like to congratulate Miss Kate and all our girls who helped achieve this level of success. The success of her program over the years speaks for itself, and it was another outstanding year for our drill team. Congratulations to 13 Willis ISD teachers who were awarded an Education Foundation grant. The awards will be used for different kinds of items, for instance, iPads to make math better, and outdoor theater, TI calculators, projectors, virtual learning gizmos, and other items to enhance classroom education. The awards this year totaled almost $30,000. We're very proud of the hard work and dedication of our board of directors with our education foundation. All the money earned is given back to our students and teachers in some form or fashion, and we've raised a little bit more money each year, and so our goal next year will be to try to give $35,000 to $40,000 away, and it's just an awesome way that the foundation supplements district expenses back into the classroom for our kids, and just something extra that they provide that we're extremely proud of. So a lot of great things happening, and we'll be back here after a short break. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Bonita DeRosa, Animal Control Officer for the City of Willis. We invite you to tune in to Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 a.m. for the Willis Hour. On the first Thursday of the month, the Willis Hour will be covering upcoming events and news about the city. Join in the conversation with your city officials and other leaders in the community. On the third, we will be doing a recap of the last City Council meeting. The mission of the City of Willis is to provide high-quality services, accountability, and professional commitment to our citizens. We pledge to provide those who live, work, and visit our city an effective government that is open and responsive to the needs and values of the community. Again, we invite you to tune in on Lone Star Internet Radio every first and third Thursday of the month at 11 for the Willis Hour.
Hello, this is Dennis Nelson, inviting you to come with me through the doorway of imagination and into the theater of the mind. The Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour presents a play every Saturday night at 7 p.m. on Lone Star Internet Radio. Be it drama or comedy, thriller or love story, every exciting episode is carefully chosen straight from the golden age of radio and performed live by talented actors, musicians, and sound effects crew. Every sound you hear will be 100% live and homemade. Anything can happen. So join us, please, every Saturday night at 7 p.m. for the Players Theater Company Old Time Radio Hour, right here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Welcome back to Willis ISD's District Dynamic Show for April 9, 2014, and I am pleased to have with us Willis ISD Band Programs Director, Mr. Chris Allen. Chris, thanks for joining us this afternoon.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Well, let's start off a little bit. If you could give our listeners a little bit of background information about yourself.
Absolutely. I grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, going through middle school and high school. Moved to the University of Houston as an undergrad and finished up 5 years there. Had planned to move back to the Metroplex and then wound up actually getting hired right out of college to the Woodlands High School, just south of here, and then spent a few years there, started working on my master's degree at Sam Houston on the side, and then got a phone call when Miss Marquardt retired after 31 years here in Willis. She called and said, hey, we'd really love to have you come up and take the program over and help it grow and push to the next level, and said I'd be happy to do that, and so this is year number 4, completing year number 4 here in Willis ISD.
Well, that's great. You know, sometimes it's difficult to replace a veteran and a legend at Willis, but I know she's still a big contributor to the program and around quite often, and I know you definitely appreciate that. Well, let us know a little bit about the background on the band program and kind of what you see us doing here in the near future.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a long history of excellence in our program. It goes back, even beyond the 31 years that Wendy was a part of the program, to the early years. We've got trophies that go all the way back into the late 60s that are still on the wall, and we've actually rearranged the trophies in the room this year, and we've put along the far wall. When you walk in, you see all the trophies from UIL events. And the funny part is that UIL is what we gauge everything towards, and they have the smaller of the trophies. It's not the big ones you see from the different festivals and stuff. And we've got an entire wall that is just filled with trophies from earning top division ratings for years and years and years and years. And it's really exciting. And the one thing that most people have no idea is that we've got, there's this small blue plaque that we put in the center of that wall, and that is from winning the state honor band. That's the top award that you can win in the state of Texas. It's only every other year you can apply, or that you can record and go through the process. And back in 1984, before they had moved into the new building, Wendy won an honor band here in Willis ISD, and most people have no idea that the tradition of excellence goes way back, many, many years, and we're just happy to keep carrying that on, and trying to keep doing right and working kids really hard and putting out a great product.
That's outstanding. It's something about that visual and that motivator when you've had success in the past, and the kids kind of know, okay, the groundwork's been laid. Sometimes when you don't have that, you're trying to paint that picture for the kids, but it's a little bit more difficult. So when you've got something to lean on like that, that's outstanding. From my baseball career and professional side, you've got a minor league system that grows your professional league, and I know at the high school band level, you've got a minor league system at Lynn Lucas and Brabham Middle School. Tell us a little bit about how those two programs have done and numbers and kind of where they're heading.
Yeah, in my 4 years here in Willis, we've had a lot of growth happening at both Lynn Lucas and at Brabham. Lynn Lucas is up. When I first arrived here, our numbers were down, just barely hovering over 100 kids in the Lynn Lucas band program. And this year, we've actually had a little bit of a down year with our incoming sixth graders, but we're just over 140 at Lynn Lucas Middle School this year. So that's good growth. And then Brabham has had just insane amounts of number growth. Mr. Ditforth has worked really hard over there, and Miss Lemieux, and they have gone from it was about 140 kids when I first arrived in Willis, and our numbers projected out for next year are in the 240 to 250 range, and they haven't completed all of their fifth grade recruiting at this point. They've nearly doubled the program in just basically 4 years. And they do all sorts of stuff. They start as sixth graders, and those kids come in and they have a little bit of music knowledge from their elementary stuff, but they're doing all sorts of different things in elementary school. And then we put an instrument in their hands and we try to teach them to read music, and it's a totally different world. It's something completely different. And then so they have 1 year's sixth graders that they're in their own individualized classes by instrument, and then we push them off into the seventh and eighth grade classes where there's ability-based groups. And they, just like we do at the high school, they compete in the concert and sight reading contests. And there's been consistent improvement over the last several years. In fact, this year, the Brabham Middle School Symphonic Band, Miss Lemieux took them. It's only the third year of that group actually competing. And they made excellent ratings on stage, and they made the top rating in the sight reading room. Which is miles better than it's been rating-wise over the last couple of years. There's just been consistent improvement in the quality of all of those groups, and our middle school staff is really wonderful. They look at this as a 7-year commitment. This is just the first 3 years of development as they push all these kids into the high school band program. They're teaching them all sorts of things, the self-motivation, work ethic, teaching them how to do the teamwork thing. And then there's, of course, all the individual competition that goes on with solo and ensemble and with a region band. And we've been getting students into the middle school region bands over the last couple of years, which hasn't been going on much in the past, which all translates and helps prepare them for the high school band program.
Right. Well, that's great. And I think, yourself and Matt Martinez, your assistant, being involved in what's taking place at those middle schools is leading to the success that we're having down there. So your leadership there is huge. And when you see these numbers grow and kids getting excited, and that feeds into a high school program, and they get to march on Friday nights and do some fun things. So definitely you're doing an outstanding job. Let's talk a little bit now about the high school program. How many students that we have, kind of what's taking place, the different types of bands and stuff that we're offering now?
We're hovering right around 150 kids this year in the high school band program. It's we graduated a big senior class last year, and we did not have a big 8th grade class come in, so we've kind of come back just a little bit on that number. When I first arrived in Willis, we were at 100, and I want to say the number was 123 students. So we have had growth over the last couple of years. band is a year-round activity. People see us on Friday nights during the football season, and they think, and I love, my favorite phrase is at the end of the football season, they're like, oh, you guys get to go take some time off now and just kind of relax, and it's far from that. Right at the end of football season, the kids, all through football season, they have to prepare. There's the region jazz auditions that we have kids participate on an individual level. There's the region band auditions that happen the first weekend in December. So it's not like we've got a lot of downtime. We change gears, sure, and we put up the marching instruments and the marching uniforms, and we trade them in for our concert uniforms and our chairs, because we don't sit during the fall. I don't let the kids sit in chairs ever.
Right.
They hate that. But I figure we're standing on the field. May as well get good practice during the class. And so there's tons of preparation that goes into that. And then we do a big Christmas concert in December, and then we immediately change gears into our concert band classes. And that's actually, the spring is what actually drives the fall for us. We do tons of work in the spring as well, and the kids have after school rehearsals and sectionals just like they do in marching band. It's not as many hours for the kids. It is for the staff, not as many for the kids.
Right.
And that's what continues to develop and make our public Friday performances during the fall so good. Is all the preparation the kids are doing year round.
Right. Well, I can tell you what, and this is coming from an ex-athlete and coach, I can promise you, I would lay a pretty heavy bet that our band students spend more time in practice and preparation through the course of the year than any program we have. And I'm not making that up. I can promise you they're on the field practicing longer than our football team. Not that Coach Jackson does a great job and they practice a lot, but I'm just telling you, Chris is a perfectionist. His kids learn to become that way, whether they would like to or not. But the amount of time involved, I don't think people really understand if you're not around the high school and see the activity in the band hall. But, we appreciate what you're doing, what your program has become with you here the last 4 years, and looking forward to future success. Now, I think you got a big competition set up for tomorrow. If you could tell a little bit about that before we wrap up.
We do. Tomorrow is our UIL concert and sight reading contest. It's over at Caney Creek. All the bands in the region go through this process, and the kids have been working since some of the pieces since early December. The rest of it we passed out in January, and we go and we put on a concert, and we have a standard that there's a scoring rubric, and we go play for judges, and they rate us on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being the best, and that's what we're striving for. Is I try to tell the kids we're not as concerned about the rating. We want to go put a good product out there, and we want people to enjoy listening to it, and we want to enjoy performing that program. And the rating will fall where it falls.
Right.
But we want to put out a good product, and then we go into the sight reading room, and we get 10 minutes with a piece of music that we've never seen before. The kids haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I will get to see it for 3 minutes before they do. And then there's all sorts of rules about things I can and can't tell them during different segments of time. And then we literally, after 10 minutes of explanation, we play the piece of music. And it's a similar scoring rubric. And the kids always impress me with that. If you've never seen it, you need to come and see it. It's at Caney Creek High School. We perform, the symphonic band is at 9 o'clock in the morning, and the wind ensemble performs at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Well, we wish you guys the best of luck and look forward to sharing on our May show how you did, and appreciate you joining us this afternoon.
Thank you.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Howdy, folks. Cable Smith, host of the Lone Star Outdoors Show, inviting you to join me Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 on Lone Star Internet Radio for Texas' premier hunting, fishing, and outdoor talk show. So pour yourself another cup of coffee and pull up that stool a little closer to the old campfire, because if you can catch it or kill it in Texas, we're going to talk about it. That's right. Bucks and ducks, gobblers, monster bass, redfish, trout, and a whole lot more. Plus, you never know what outdoor celebrity is going to drop by, from Phil the Duck Commander Robertson to fishing legend Bill Dance or everybody's favorite uncle Ted Nugent. Heck, we might even mix in an interview and hear some brand spanking new Texas music from one of your favorite Texas musicians like Robert Earl Keen, Brandon Ryder, or the honky-tonk kid himself, Aaron Watson. Loved or hated but never ignored, it's the Lone Star Outdoors Show with me, Cable Smith, Saturday mornings from 7 to 8 right here on Lone Star Internet Radio on
Do you ever wonder what's going on in the business community? Are you looking for ways to get plugged in? Cassandra Roshan here, Director of Membership Development with the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to invite you to tune in to Chamber Chat. Tune in the first Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. so you will be in the know for all Chamber happenings for the month. Each month, the Chamber offers 2 free lunch and learn sessions, a networking breakfast, business after hours, membership luncheon, as well as many other special events throughout the year. I will give you a rundown of all programs and events for the month, as well as interview our speakers and hosts of these events. So grab a cup of coffee and tune in to Chamber Chat the first Tuesday of every month at 11 a.m. Chat with you then.
Welcome back to Willis ISD's District Dynamics Show for April 9th, 2014. We are into our third segment and very pleased to have CTE Director James Chumley with us this afternoon. How you doing, James?
Good. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. Well, let's get off. If you could let our parents know what the term CTE program actually is.
Well, it stands for Career and Technical Education, and it's a technical education program that prepares our students for college and careers. It's done through a sequence of courses. And just trying to get our students to start thinking at the 9th grade level what's ahead.
Right. Well, good deal. Well, we've got a excellent. James has done a great job with our CTE program. We've got a great staff who offer a variety of class and coursework for our kids, and we're continuing to grow that coursework as we move forward. And I think it's some area that really applies to our kids, gets them excited. There's some opportunities technology-wise out there that, with it changing daily, that we're going to be able to bring to the table over the next few years for our kids to be involved in. Let's start off with what are our CTE requirements for graduation?
Well, most people know about House Bill 5 that was passed last year by the state of Texas, and I think most of them realized that lowered the test number that students have to take down to about 5. But another part of House Bill 5 was that they added a foundation plan for every student in high school, and then there's a requirement that they must choose between 5 endorsement areas to graduate. And those endorsement areas are mostly CTE courses, and they're the 5 different areas are the STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, business and industry, public service, arts and humanities, and multidisciplinary studies.
And something exciting that as a school district we liked on the House Bill 5 was just your different endorsements are geared around what are kids interested in and trying to give them a little bit more of a choice in their education. And as this thing gets rolled out, we've got to do a very good job as a school district of informing our kids in middle school before they get to high school of exactly what we're offering, what appeals to you, what doesn't appeal to you, and get them excited about what they're doing. Our basic courses aren't really going to change at all, which is just the fundamentals of what kids need to have. But then the extra part, the extra component with the endorsements are some areas that we want to offer anything we can come up with that's going to appeal to a kid's interest. So I know our course catalog has a variety of programs. If you could just kind of go through with some of the things we're offering.
Well, we talked about the 5 endorsement areas. The state of Texas has identified 16 career pathways. And in those 16 career pathways, Willis ISD offers something in all 16 areas. We have 66 career and technology courses that fit those pathways, and they range from manufacturing, which would be welding, machinery and manufacturing. We have human service, education and training, hospitality and tourism, architecture and construction, health science, audio-video communications, business management and administration, finance, information technology, and STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, transportation, law, public safety and security, and ag science. And we have 66 courses in those areas for our students to choose from.
And as you can tell, that's a pretty nice mix. That's not common, quite honestly, for we have one high school here to be able to offer that range, and I think that's just been some forethought prior to House Bill 5 coming in of us really trying to grow our CTE program and do great things for our kids. And we're excited about the different, James and I have had some conversations just looking future-wise on a potential cosmetology program that would appeal to some of our students, as well as the potential of some other things. And I think it's something that you just evaluate as you go, what appeals to our kids here at Willis. And I think that's something that James is passionate about, as well as I am, that we want to do things here that's best for our kids and our community. And that's something we'll continue to kind of push as we go. Now, obviously, this is fair season in Montgomery County. I've been out this last weekend and saw some great things our kids were doing. And if you just kind of give us some details about our students participating in the fair, events, and other things. I know you've got a big list there.
Oh, yes, sir. Most people think of the fair, they think about the livestock show. And, of course, we have students that are competing with their pigs and their lambs, steers, all of the livestock part of it. But that's just part of Montgomery County Fair and Willis ISD. We also have students that participate in horticulture, horse shows, breeding livestock, handicraft, woodworking, ag mechanics, and photography. So we're quite well-rounded.
No, definitely are.
area.
We've got plenty of kids all over the place out there.
Yes, sir. One of the things that I'm really proud about is our ag mechanics projects. When you go in the front gate of Montgomery County Fair, it's all on display. Everybody that comes through, you can't miss it. And what's really neat to me is when you walk in and you look at the level of projects that are there, and then you look at who is completing them. It's Willis ISD.
Right.
We compete against New Caney, all the Conroe schools, and some schools that are quite a bit bigger than us. But for this show's been going on for 3 years at Montgomery County, and Willis has won the overall show for 3 straight years. So we're quite proud of that.
Definitely impressive. I'd gotten a call Friday from Dane Castlesholt, one of our teachers, and Dan Underwood's involved in that process as well, to come out and for the award show on Saturday. I got a chance to come out and just to see some of these projects our kids have built. Really and truly, I could have had them on a lot somewhere, and I would have thought we had bought it from somewhere else. Extremely impressive. We ended up winning, I believe, the Grand Champion, Reserve Grand Champion, won the Sweepstakes Award. I think we needed to have a new bus. I needed to purchase one to bring everything back to the school, but I was very impressed. Love our program, and these guys are learning skills that will be with them for a lifetime.
Well, and the number of projects.
Yeah.
We probably have 75% of the projects out there come from our little Willis ISD shop. So
Right.
Dane is doing a wonderful job, and those kids are grabbing hold and really taking advantage of it.
I tell you, they're doing something. He's always good for a good story for me and keeps me entertained. But he's also doing some great things with kids, and his relationship building skills with his students is something that is great, and I think it has a lot to do with their success as well.
Yes, sir.
So you got any other names for what's going on out at the fair?
Well, I do. I have about a 2-page list. Let me scan through here and pick
Okay.
some of the better ones. Of
All
course,
right.
we have 2 pages of students that have done well and are either in the sale or in the top of their show. But I can see here that our CTED Horticulture, we had a Division I Reserve Champion with Sean Mitchell. In CTED Horticulture Division II, we had Grand and Reserve Champion. Grand Champion was Josh Vasquez. Reserve Champion was Maxwell Doughty. Of course, we had the Fair Queen runner-up, Tara Latter. In the livestock show, we've had Grand Champion Turkey, which is Garrett Dyer. Reserve Champion Colt is Tiffany Cooper. Let's see, we have the Champion Duroc in the swine show. That would be Cassie Coy. Champion Other Purebred is Kyle Carmack. And the Grand Champion Market Swine of Montgomery County Fair this year is one of our students, is Kelly Carmack. And we also had the Champion Junior Showman. Looks like we had the Reserve Champion in Handicraft would be Lexi Pennington. Of course, you already mentioned the Ag Mechanics. We had Grand Champion overall was Casey Crest. Reserve Champion Ag Mechanics was Kyle Carmack. And, of course, Willis FFA was overall chapter champion. In photography this year, which is fairly new, that's students that are in our advanced commercial photography. We had 3 students that placed in the top 10, Nancy Hollis, Brittany Lorenz, and Cindy Russo. And then, of course, we're not through showing. We still have today, we have the market goats at 10 a.m. Haven't gotten results from them, but I expect them to be just as good. Market steers are at 4 p.m. this afternoon. Tomorrow they have the livestock judging at 9 a.m. and then, of course, the big junior livestock auction at 6:30 tomorrow night.
Right. Well, you can tell the Willis Wildcats have been very well represented at the fair this year. Looking forward to the final couple competitions, and it's great to go out there and see the community there and see our kids doing us proud. And James, appreciate you joining us. Thank you for your leadership in our program, and we'll be back in just a minute.
Have you ever wandered around a parking lot trying to look like you actually know where you parked? Then you'll love the Mark and Cindy Show. If buying toilet paper with aloe vera is the most exciting thing you're going to do today, then you'll love the Mark and Cindy Show. Even if you haven't tweeted, you'll still love the Mark and Cindy Show.
How about twerking?
Ew, that was one step over the line, Mark.
Well, you said toilet paper.
Look, we want listeners to tune in to the Mark and Cindy Show at 10 o'clock every weekday morning here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
The Mark and Cindy Show, it's like visiting with your best friends for coffee, except we will never stiff you with a check.
And one of us always knows what she's talking about.
Well, okay, but it's still called the Mark and Cindy Show. You know that.
We'll see. The Mark and Cindy Show. Tune in to Lone Star Radio every weekday morning at 10 o'clock.
Welcome back to the final segment of Willis ISD's District Dynamics Show for April 9th, 2014. We've had a great show. We'd like to thank again our guest, Chris Allen, with the Willis ISD Band Program, and James Chumley, our CTE Director. They're doing and providing some great leadership for the kids in the district, and we appreciate what they do. Before we wrap up with some upcoming events, I kind of just want to give a recap of some athletic updates and things that we've got going on. First off, we've had our varsity girls track team competed in the Montgomery relays and had a nice showing. We had Timbrisha Henderson finished fourth in the 100-meter dash and also third in the 200-meter dash. Miss Tiona Spivey was first and with a 57.8 in the 400-meter dash. Victoria Burkhart was fifth in the 800-meter run, and then our 4x400-meter relay team was third. And Willis boys track team also traveled to Montgomery. We had a very good showing there. John Lewis won the 100-meter dash. He finished third in the 200-meter dash. Grant Stevens was second in both of our hurdles, 110s and the 300. And our boys relay finished third in the 4x200, and that was Austin Spears, Jordan Pittman, Christian Luke, and Maurice Johnson. And they were first in the 4x400. This was Nick Hartley, Grant Stevens, Austin Spears, and Chris Platt. And our varsity boys and girls will be competing in Brenham on Wednesday and Thursday of this week in the 18-4A district track meet. Please come out. We had did a great job last year in our district track meet. Looking forward for great representation this week, and we've got some guys that work very hard. Coach King, it's his first year as track coach, has done an excellent job providing leadership for that group of young men and women, and looking forward to their competition this week. Our baseball team is battling for a fourth playoff spot. Had a big win Friday night against Waller 5-3. Our Willis ISD or Willis Lady Cats varsity softball team beat up on Brenham 8-2, and like I said, both our softball team and our baseball team are battling for that fourth playoff spot as the year kind of winds down, and they've done a great job for us. And update on tennis, Yosua Malaki and Devin Douglas placed second in district, qualified for regionals, and Kelly Smith placed third and is the singles alternate. And then we had another group of Bia Norfleet, Billy Crawford, and Megan Johnson, and Morgan Jowers placed fourth. And another great year in tennis, and looking forward to those competing at the regional tournament. Lady Cat Soccer had a huge win, by-district win 3-1 over Tomball in the first round of the playoffs. They lost in the second round of the playoffs in a tough fight, but was rain delayed. I believe the final ended up being 3-0. Had a rain delay. Tough night, but had an excellent year and very proud of them. And our boys made the by-district playoffs, lost a heartbreaker 1-0 to Magnolia West. But the guys had a good season, replacing a ton of seniors next year. But overall, it was an outstanding year. And for our golf, our Lady Cats finished off their season at the 18-4A Golf Championships at High Meadow Ranch. It was a 2-day event, and senior Ashley O'Connell, junior Sarah Elmore, and sophomores Bailey Blair, Savannah Brakefield, and Candace Dolly placed fifth in a field of 15 teams, including 3 top 10s from the state. So they've had a great season, proud of what they've done. A lot of great things happen in our athletic program, and my biggest deal on our athletes, men and women, is to represent Willis when you wear that purple and our logo with the state of Texas, the W in the middle, that you represent us with class. You learn how to compete, and you show class on and off the field all the time. And I think our coaches do an outstanding job of providing that leadership for those programs, and they've done us proud this year. A couple of upcoming events that are kind of big players. April 15th and 16th, Willis High School Tennis UIL Region 3 4A Varsity Tournament will be hosted at the Blythe Cafe Tennis Center, and that is our home court, so we're excited about hosting that regional meet. And then there's many athletic events, cheerleading, dance tryouts are taking place. A lot of young ladies in those two categories working very hard, and a lot of sweat, tears put in, and so we've got tryouts coming up. April 16th, which will be a week from Wednesday, is our regular monthly Board of Trustees meetings at 6 o'clock at the Cargill Education Support Center at 204 West Rogers at Willis, Texas. And the week of April 28th will be open registration for any new students at Willis ISD campuses, and that does include our new students and our new kinder students. So from April 28th through, I believe that is May the 2nd. I'm not sure, it's that 1 week there. And we will have the first registration for our new students. So we thank you for joining us. We appreciate the support that you provide our district, and look forward to bringing you some more exciting news in May. Thanks for listening.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.